We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, Jabo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox, like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Like life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show. We welcomed a new family member over the weekend. She's fluffy.
Cute.
Her name is Frankie Furball, this adorable little puppy. I was really getting nervous on Friday night. I didn't know what I did.
You're getting cold feet, huh?
Yeah, I was like, why in the world did we make this choice? We've got enough going on.
Yep.
And I genuinely tried to get out of it. I talked to every one of my family members who I thought might support me.
And it was your idea.
Started with my wife, Jess, then talked to my mom even, and my daughter, Charlie, who probably loves animals the most in our whole family. And here's what happened. This was all playing out Friday. I didn't know if we'd be actually picking up the dog on Saturday after all. Well, it's the night before Frankie's coming to town.
Yeah?
I don't think I'm ready for a Frankie Furball.
Well, ready or not, here she comes.
I think at this point, if I could undo it, I might actually undo it.
Too late.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, T.
I wanted to tell you this tomorrow, but we got the dog for you.
Get out of here.
Charlie,
Yes, Dada?
are you sure you want us to get a new puppy?
Yes, I want to get the puppy so badly.
Have you considered reconsidering?
Nope.
Because I'm worried about the amount of work that I've just brought onto my life, and I like the idea of not doing as much as I'm about to have to do.
Lazy.
What?
Yep, lazy.
I don't know if I want to take care of a creature that does whatever it wants to do.
You got 3 daughters. You think we listen to everything you say?
Yeah, exactly.
You've got plenty of practice, Dada.
Can I pay you so we don't get a puppy?
Dada, you know you can't tell multiple kids about getting a puppy and then take it back.
Says who?
You hopped on the boat, now it's all going to sail.
Yep, we did hop on the boat. Multiple weeks of anticipation, all welling up to Friday evening. And I realized at this point, I did this to myself. We we picked up the puppy on Saturday, and I will say, I am genuinely shocked. It is the most adorable little fluffy animal, and it's actually been a huge blessing to me, even in puppy phase, which was really tough for me 11 years ago when we got our dog Luna. And the difference is that I actually have expectations. I didn't know anything about getting a dog all those years ago, and it was like a shock to the system.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've learned over the last 11 years is that so many people have no idea what to do with their animals, and so much of their stress comes from not knowing what to do with their animals. I feel so much peace this time around because I've learned the ropes with raising a dog and seeing that they're not human, and you've got to sort of speak a different language.
Even though it feels like they are, but they're not.
Yeah, right. And it's been really pleasant. Like I was texting my wife earlier today before the show, and I said, how cool is this little creature? And she agrees, and we're both on the same page, which actually feels really nice.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm so glad we didn't actually bail out, because that would have been really, I would have never known how great little Frankie Furball could be.
Well, I'm glad you didn't bail out, because you have shared before that you almost took Luna back when you first got Luna. I can't imagine how many hearts you would break if you were taking Frankie back.
Yeah, no, I really was thinking, I think it's time. We got to undo this. This was a bad decision. But Luna was just doing what Luna did when she was a puppy. That's our dog now, who's a senior dog. And I was the problem. It was me.
Because you didn't know how to take care of her.
I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And I suffered because of what I didn't know. Because I know now how to raise a dog, it's so much more peaceful. And I feel like I've made a new little buddy here. She's so cute. I look forward to going to her crate and taking her out for potty training. She's batting 1,000 with potty training.
So have you kicked your dog Luna, the senior dog in your household, to the curb then?
No, she's
That's
special
what it sounds like.
No, they're all, I will say, and I hate to admit this, but at one moment I looked in Luna's eyes and I said, hey, Luna, I almost called her Frankie, which is
the disrespect.
the most offensive thing I could do to my
Dog's
I
been
think
there forever.
I think she felt it, but she's wonderful and she's doing mostly well. She did show her teeth and give a nice bark right in Frankie's face.
She's an alpha.
This is what happens.
Right.
She's the boss, and we want her to stay the boss. And I did a little post-game interview with my daughter, Charlie, 24 hours after we welcomed this new Frankie Furball into our home. And my 9-year-old daughter had some thoughts to share. Hey, Charlie.
Hello, Dada.
How you feeling about Frankie Furball?
I love Frankie Furball. She's so cute and so sweet when she cries all the time. She's like, I'm not happy when she cries, but it's so cute when she cries. She's so sad. And
Is she really sad, or is she just putting on a puppy show?
I think she does that to get extra attention. Been there.
How did our senior dog Luna react?
She growled and barked like this.
How'd that make you feel?
I was scared by it because I don't want her to hurt our little baby, Frankie.
That has to be really annoying to Luna to hear that. Like every time you
Right.
talk about, oh, look at how cute little. And now the kids are scared of Luna. But Luna's just doing what she does.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have any idea why she seems so grumpy?
Because she's an old lady, Dada. I'll make an impression of Luna. What are you turning me into a babysitter? Not at this point in my life.
No, she's doing an impression of Luna.
That was good.
Luna must be feeling like she's getting made fun of.
I got a cracked tooth. You get puppy teeth. It makes me angry.
Yeah, so now Luna's jealous of the nice puppy teeth that are all together.
Luna needs to chill out. Bye.
Yeah, so
Bye.
Luna is doing great. She's going to do fine. She's just, I think
She'll adjust.
she's an animal. I don't
Yeah.
know. I was thinking for a second, I was like, do you think Luna's feelings are hurt? But no, I don't think she thinks that way. It's just, who's in charge? Let's deal with it now.
Well, if Luna was so welcoming to Frankie Furball right off the bat, I would be a little concerned because that means that she's passive as a dog. She's protecting her people. So she's probably thinking like, what is this little rodent in my house?
Let me make sure this dog,
Right.
is okay with everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a very pleasant experience. So listen, we're going to put out some pictures of Frankie Furball if you're curious. I mean, you may not care about what little Frankie looks like, but if you do, you can go to thetjshow.com, sign up for a newsletter, and you'll get them delivered right to your inbox. J-Bo, I don't know what to think of this. To me, I feel like this is in poor taste, but maybe I just don't understand sports. Well, I know I don't understand sports.
Yeah.
What's going on, TJ?
So basketball playoffs are happening.
Right.
We have some lifelong fans of this game in the room. So we've got Kenny, who loves the Knicks.
Right.
That's right.
We've got camera guy Josh, who loves the 76ers.
Yep.
And they played each other this weekend, and the Knicks won. That's Kenny's team.
That's
Yep.
right. Go New York, go New York, go.
And it's camera guy Josh's birthday weekend. Kenny sends this message to him that sounds haunting after the big loss over the weekend. And what
I
I'm
had
gonna-
a feeling this was coming.
Yeah, I'm just going to play this as is. And maybe I don't understand it because I'm not this wild sports person.
Right.
I appreciate it, but I'm not fully invested like these guys are. I'm not going to interrupt this. I'm just going to play it as is because I guess some would argue this is like a work of art.
Let me hear it.
You tell me what you think of this. On Josh's birthday weekend.
Hey, Josh, it looks like the Sixers forgot your birthday this year.
So annoying. So annoying. He sounds like a menace. How annoying is that?
I know.
Oh my goodness.
It's unbelievable. So, camera guy Josh, how did that make you feel on your birthday weekend?
No, it was awesome. It was the best part of my birthday. I absolutely loved it. And I took it much better than my wife, Ann. My wife, I played the whole thing for her, and I just, her blood was boiling. She couldn't take it.
Yeah, I'm getting on Ann's nerves.
Yeah, that's unbelievable to me. Well, there it is. And they
How
did.
tasteful.
Yeah, but there's still a chance, right, for the 76ers to come back?
Oh, yeah. They're coming back, and I'm making every video in the book and sending it to Kenny when they
funny,
come back.
Josh. I might start laughing again.
Okay, all right. We've had enough. We've had enough. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. I mean, he's all in on the chop busting, right, J-Bo?
I mean, he's in. I don't know how many teams come back from a 3-1 deficit, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, all right. Hey. So, congratulations, Kenneth.
Thank you.
I don't want to stoke the flames any more than they're already fire hot.
Yeah, they are.
You know who else is upset by all of this? And
Josh and Ann, but also my girlfriend Allison's a pretty big 76 fan.
Oh, you about to
Really?
get kicked out and you just moved in with your girlfriend, Allison.
She has hated the last couple of days watching these games with me.
But she can't really care, though.
I think I've been getting under her skin more than I ever have because
So you
of
don't
this.
even pull back for her? Oh, you are a jerk.
You think they're going to last?
She's a good woman, man, that one right there.
Yeah.
You know what's definitely not going to last? The Sixers playoff run.
Oh, my goodness!
Listen to this.
What a menace.
This is my favorite part. You had to be a high school bully, right? I mean, that's like that's what they do now.
Yeah.
This is the TJ Show. Thank you for turning your radio on.
I'm Erica, 1/3 of the podcast Books and Betches, a comedy book podcast where we swear, spoil, and we talk about...
Whoa, you cannot say that in this.
What do you mean? That's like our slogan. It's our gimmick.
It is, but just say we're a very funny adult book podcast. How about we just give some examples of things we talk about?
Well, there's a lot of chaos. I'm Kristen, and with me I have... No.
We talk about books, but we're not your AP Lit class.
I definitely hit on the major points.
You absolutely did not.
She did.
You talked
Just
about...
not in the order you thought she would.
You talked so slowly about one thing.
A lot of sidebar conversations.
I
Are you denying the existence of chupacabras?
You know what, Erica? Yes, I am. And we don't always get the facts right. Epilogues don't belong in books. Dude, call it chapter 1.
That's a
the
prologue.
Second I see
That's a prologue.
Oh,
I'm talking about prologue.
You can listen to new episodes of the Books and Betches podcast every Tuesday morning, anywhere you get your podcasts.
Bye-bye.
Ever notice that how you feel affects your food choices and that what you eat affects how you feel throughout the day? Well, researchers noticed it too, and now there's cutting-edge science about how food affects our emotional well-being. I'm food and science journalist Mary Beth Albright, and in my weekly podcast, Eat, You'll Feel Better, I look at practical, realistic ways to put the science of eating for emotional well-being into action. And, this is important, without lapsing into negative diet culture messages that can really ruin anyone's emotional well-being. We talk about things like how the food in your gut sends messages directly to your brain. And we also celebrate something that I personally find often missing from food health news, and that's leaning into pleasure. Because food is delicious, and it's not just about what we eat. Emotional well-being is also about how we eat. So join me every week on Eat, You'll Feel Better, where we use science to improve mood through food.
This is the TJ Show. Now, I know that there are some people that don't like me, but I didn't think it was this many people. Jabo,
What are you talking about, TJ?
Well, I was surprised to see this. Over the weekend, we had another video that totally blew up on our Instagram account.
All right.
And I thought it was a pretty innocent opinion that was shared. I guess sometime last week, leaf blowers came up. Oh, Kenny was doing a news story.
It was a news story, The Problem with Leaf Blowers. That was the title of the article.
Yeah, and just randomly, I was like, oh yeah, I hate leaf blowers, and I explained why. I just think they're
Right.
annoying, and also, who cares if you have leaves on your lawn? Like, I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
I love leaves on the lawn. They just decompose, and they go back into the dirt. It's great.
Yep.
And somehow that winds up on the internet. And hundreds of comments come in, and people are so upset about what I said about leaf blowers. And I'm thinking, aren't there more controversial opinions out there? Like, I didn't even know anyone would care what I thought.
Don't let those comments get to you, man. That doesn't mean people don't like you.
Well, they don't, but I do think they're kind of funny. You want to hear some of
Oh
these?
yeah, of course.
I mean, just listen to how mean people are on the internet. Prime example of why not everyone needs a podcast. Wow.
Okay.
People like to keep their lawn looking nice. The noise from a leaf blower isn't a big deal. I hope you don't have kids if you can't handle noise. Well, no, I mean, I have had a hard time handling the noise from my kids, and sometimes I would rather hear a leaf blower.
Hear the noise from your kids.
But, you wouldn't know that because you didn't get to know me. You just commented and then left.
Exactly.
This is one of the problems with the comment section.
Of course.
Big leaf propaganda. Someone accusing me of being against big leaves.
Really?
But this is the internet, so of course you're going to expect that kind of conspiracy. I would love to see this guy's yard. It's okay to say, I don't have anything to talk about. Let's record a podcast next week.
Wow.
I mean, they're funny. See, even that guy who doesn't like me, if he would just hang out for a second and spend some time with me, maybe over a meal or breaking some bread.
He'd get to know you, get to like you.
He would know that I'm laughing at his comment. I actually like it. Why are you so angry that people have different opinions about leaves? I think your hat is dumb. He's talking about me, J-Bo. But I'm not going to make a podcast about it. You sound like an idiot.
Wow, that one's a dagger.
You heard it here first, everybody. You could dump your leaves on this guy's yard. He doesn't care. No, I didn't say I want extra leaves. I'm just happy with the leaves that I currently have.
Have you seen TikTok, the comment section on TikTok?
No, there's a comment section on TikTok too?
Yeah, there is.
I didn't even see that.
This one kind of stands out. This guy says, it's called pride, dude. I bet you don't clean your rented house either. Who cares, right?
No offense to you, but I don't like your lawn with leaves on it. Well, you've never seen it. How do you know? You can come over, we can hang out, talk about the lawn. Well, here's something I do like about just letting everything grow wild, because there's like a section of my yard where it just kind of grows.
Right.
And I just let whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, I think it's interesting. You'd be surprised what we think are weeds. But these things pop up, and next thing you know, you can eat your weeds. I mean, literally, there are these bushes near where I live called wineberry bushes.
Right.
If I was so busy cleaning up the leaves and mowing the lawn every day, I would never know about wineberry bushes that just popped up in abundance. I get thousands of berries for free.
Have you started eating them?
Yes, I love them. They're wonderful.
would.
Yes, producer Heather. And you're going to have some too this year,
I
J-Lo.
don't know about that.
Oh, you have no idea
I'm
what
gonna
you're
let
missing.
you have that.
TJ, I'm with you. I've been eating my weeds since college.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a different...
And brownies and cookies.
That's a whole different conversation, and something tells me these commenters are going to love you. So you should put out a video at some point. This is the TJ Show. If you want to join the friendly conversation on our Instagram, go for it. It's at TJ Podcast. I thought this was an interesting headline and a clever move by Domino's. Got to hand it to them. The pizza chain is rolling out a new initiative called You Tip, We Tip. And of course, we've seen this. It's gotten worse and worse over the years, where you pay for something and they flip the screen around. Would you like to tip? And it's for almost everything you could imagine.
Or when the cashier says, "Oh, it's going to ask you a question," and you're like,
Yeah.
you know what the question is."
Yeah, like there's a place I go to, and I will order a pastry from them, and this guy is just taking the pastry out of the cooler, throwing it in a bag, and it asks me if I want a tip. And it's like, well, wait a minute, aren't you working for this company, and aren't they paying you? And what did you do that was like this exceptional service?
That's a no for me.
But Domino's has taken note of this, and they said starting today, Domino's is going to award customers a $3 coupon whenever they leave at least a $3 tip online for their delivery driver. The vice president of the pizza chain took a dig at this whole issue of tablet guilt tipping. We love that customers have been tipping our drivers for their great service since day one. But these days, everywhere you go, there's a tip screen. The pressure to tip is real, even when no extra service is provided. So we decided to flip the script and show our appreciation by tipping customers back. Well, that works out well, right? Coupon doesn't take much off of them. It's them sort of covering this expected payment that maybe they're not paying their drivers or whoever's making the pizza.
Yeah, that's a smart move, because what do you do with that $3 coupon? You now have to go back and order a pizza.
Genius.
Yeah.
They also did a survey, and they found that 75% of Americans feel that tipping culture has frustratingly gone too far.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the people, the 25% are like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone
Big
should
ballers,
just
deep pockets.
Everyone should just get extra money all the time. Yeah, why not? In instances of sit-down dining, the Pew Research Center found that tip sizes are decreasing. See, now, and what's interesting about this is that it's hurting the people who should be getting tips and traditionally have gotten tips. 57% of consumers are now tipping 15% or less.
Oh, wow. That's going backwards.
15%. Yeah, I know. I remember when I first learned about tipping, I remember I was a kid and I asked my dad why. And he said, you always got to tip at least 20%. And I go, okay, cool. And that was always the lowest that we would go if we had great service. And then you could go up from there. But wow. I mean, I think we've talked about this, but this whole tipping system, if there was any good involved in tipping, it's been destroyed by the guilt tipping. And it's like the whole system needs to be redone.
And I'm not opposed to tipping, right? Like somebody's putting that work, you're going to tip them because they're providing a great service to you. But I am tipped fatigued. I am tired.
Yeah.
Every time I went to, you go to a basketball game or an arena event and they get you popcorn and a drink and they turn the tablet around and they're like asking for a tip and you're like, wait a minute, aren't you hourly? Aren't you on the clock? Why am I tipping? So I'm fatigued. I'm tired.
I'm also wondering what the breakdown is there. Like, is the stadium or the venue actually giving all of that money, or are they now taking a percentage and they just collect extra? I don't know what's going on.
Because sometimes with those events, those are seasonal hires or hires just for the event.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, producer Heather.
I've been to a stadium where it was one of those places where you went and got your own drink and then you rang yourself up and paid yourself, and they still asked for a tip. I was like, who am I tipping myself?
Tipping the robots. Yeah, that's right.
No.
With like picking up, I order online and I'll pick up from the restaurant, so I won't even get a delivery, but you get asked there too. And I feel like, well, they're going to see it at the restaurant whether I tipped or not.
Right.
Are they going to do something to my food because I didn't leave a tip? But I drove there to pick it up.
I know. You should be getting a reward.
Yeah, right. Me.
I mean, it's just so upside down, like so many other things in the world. So there you go. Domino's trying to do something about it. Gotta respect that. Lucy in Iowa Falls. Is that really you?
This is me.
What can we do for you on this fine day?
Well, I was just calling to let you know my sister introduced me to this channel, and I really enjoy it. But I was especially listening last week when I heard J-Bo's story regarding her dad, and I'm so sorry for her loss.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you for listening.
Yes, well, and it touched my heart with the hamburger cheeseburger story, and I have I have shared that with my other sister and with my husband, and they both thought it was very touching. So it's great to have that kind of a memory.
Oh,
thank you. It is really great.
Well, thank you. Let me ask you this: did you just pick up the phone to encourage J-Bo? Is that your goal here?
No, to encourage the whole radio station.
I mean, I appreciate
I enjoy
it.
the music. Yeah, well, it touched my heart, so I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, no, I'm not making fun of that. I think that's beautiful. How often does that happen today?
Right, not very
where
often.
someone makes an effort to try to make someone feel better about something they did. It's usually the opposite of that. Hey, hang on a second, Lucy. What makes you different? Like, what drove you to make that phone call?
Oh, I recently lost my aunt. She lived to be almost 101. She passed away a year ago, and I went and visited her every Tuesday and Thursday and fixed her hair for her, and we had a nice relationship. She was able to stay in her own home until she passed away, so that was wonderful.
Wow.
Great.
Well, I'm very touched by your phone call, and you sound like a wonderful person, Lucy. If we were living a little closer together, you'd be invited over our house for dinner. We'd bring J-Bo
Hey,
over.
Lucy, I bring you some cheeseburgers.
Yes.
I bring you a sack of
right.
cheeseburgers, Lucy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Lucy, you got to have something to complain about. Give us a complaint. Come on.
Oh, there's Kenny.
No, not Lucy.
Oh, well, since you asked, what is it that you want to complain about? Thanks a lot, Kenny. This is going so well.
The weather has been poopy.
Yeah. What is your favorite part of living in Iowa? Because I've been there a number of times. I know about the Iowa State Fair, and it's one of the most interesting places I've ever been. They have chocolate-covered bacon there. And also, I think they have like a largest pig contest, and this thing was so big, I thought it was illegal. I didn't know what was going on, but everyone was celebrating it. It was great. What is the best part of Iowa for you?
Spring. I've been able to plant a few things, and pansies are one of my favorite flowers, so I was able to plant those this weekend, so that made me happy.
Aren't flowers so cool? I am like so intrigued because my wife cares about flowers, and so my kids actually love flowers even more than my wife. And what I found is they're actually like cheap babysitters. You buy this big 5-pound bag of flowers, you throw them out in the yard, and next thing you know, these things are growing all over the place, and they just keep reproducing. And the kids go out there and they pick flowers for hours, and they're so excited about it. They come in with their little bouquets, and there's this one particular flower called a daisy that every year it comes up, and there's more and more of them. And J-Bo's seen it.
Yeah,
when they
it's
all
beautiful.
come up, it looks like we're in this like spectacular garden. I can't even believe it.
Lucy, TJ has a beautiful walkway and leading to his house, and on each side of the walkway, there's these wild flowers growing that he just threw random seeds down, and they started to grow. They're beautiful. Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed his story last week, too, about leaf blowing. That you don't care.
Oh, I know. Lucy, I got in a lot of trouble for that. We posted
Oh, you did?
Yeah, well, we posted a clip of it on the internet where I just had an opinion. I thought it was innocent. Oh, I don't like leaf blowers. People hate me for it.
No.
You gotta see the comments I'm getting. I mean, I don't care, but this is what people are doing on the internet. You're better off planting flowers. Keep doing what you're doing.
There you go.
Lucy, we love you for listening.
You're
Thank
wonderful,
you
Lucy.
for
Thank you for
turning on our
calling.
show.
All right. Thank you. You guys have a good day.
Hi, everybody. This is Adriana Trajani. I'm the host of You Are What You Read, a podcast about the books that built our souls. I have the privilege of interviewing luminaries of our times about the books that shaped them from childhood until now. Don't miss it. We get everybody from Sarah Jessica Parker to Kristen Hanna to Jhumpa Lahiri, Susie Essman, Rainn Wilson, Amor Tolls. You name it, they come, they talk, they share. You can join us on Instagram for more behind-the-scenes content and giveaways at You Are What You Read podcast and at Adriana Trajani. New episodes of You Are What You Read drop every Tuesday on Apple, Spotify, or any major streaming platform wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Bedside Matters is the podcast for all the latest medical news and answers to your questions. Hosted by respected physician Dr. David Kipper, comedian Anna Vicino, and writer-producer Peter Tilden. Plus, we have special guests like Danny DeVito.
I was marveling. It was such a life-saving moment. You like Houdini.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
We were working and Marty had this Christmas opportunity to fly home and see his grandkids and his children. And he gets off the plane and has COVID.
It was a Home Alone sequel except for a 7-year-old with COVID.
Charlie Day.
David, thanks for keeping me alive, and thanks for keeping Danny alive so we could keep the show on the air for as long as possible.
And many more. New episodes of Bedside Matters drop every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the TJ Show, our news that sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
There are a lot of people out there looking for a new job, whether they were recently laid off or even just looking to make a job switch. And according to experts, the employment landscape has changed, and so has the way job seekers write resumes. So I have some tips on how to craft your resume if you're looking for a new job.
Resumes still matter.
Yes, that's the most important thing. And one thing has stayed the same, at least from when I was writing resumes, that job hirers, you need to get their attention fast. They say more than a third of hiring managers spend less than a minute initially looking at your resume, and nearly 1 in 5 spend less than 30 seconds.
You know, I've hired for a few positions over the years, and one of the things I notice is people will claim they know all kinds of things. And there's a certain program that we use in our line of work, and almost everyone will write it on their resume, like, I'm proficient in this. And so the first question I ask them a simple move in that program. And almost always, they have no idea what I'm talking about. And I'm like, why would they include that on the resume?
Hoping that you wouldn't look at it.
Yeah, it actually just annoys the person doing the hiring. It's like, now you've wasted time. Like, that's a first layer you have to get through before you. So I don't know if that's on the list, but being honest is probably a good first step.
Well, listing your skills is important, and in many cases more important than even your previous employment history. So they do want you to list those skills up at the top, but I'm assuming that they would want you to be honest if indeed you have those skills or not.
If you actually have them.
One thing I should note is that when I was in college learning how to write a resume, I was told it's a 1-page resume. That is no longer the case. In the last 5 years, they say that the average resume is now 2 pages and around 503 words.
How are you supposed to keep somebody's attention or get somebody's attention with a 2-page resume?
I agree with you,
Because I wouldn't
J-Bo.
want. I would be like, this is too much. Next.
Yeah, I've got 3 seconds. I'm on TikTok.
Right. I need cliff notes. Thank you.
Another tip that they say is important is to quantify your accomplishments. Employers like to see results. They say use the CAR method, CAR, challenge, action, result. And that's one way to get job hirers' attention.
Kenny, what else do you have?
There was a new study conducted by researchers at Duke University that has discovered that there are blood tests that can diagnose osteoarthritis, which is one of the most common forms of arthritis, up to 8 years before it could be seen on x-rays.
Hey.
Ooh, that is impressive.
Convenient, too.
Yes.
My hope is that one day we can walk into some machine, it just scans everything, and it goes, all right, here's exactly what's wrong. Here's what you got to do to fix it.
That'd be nice.
Get on it.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool.
Well, with osteoarthritis, it's often diagnosed via x-rays, and at that point, the damage has already been done. A lot of it involves cartilage, for instance, in your knees, and you don't have nerve receptors in your cartilage, so you don't notice any symptoms until the cartilage is worn away, and that's when things get a little interesting, to say the least. But with these blood tests, they can see these biomarkers, these little clues saying that, okay, osteoarthritis is on the way. Here are some things that we can do ahead of that moment in time where it becomes too late. So the medical community is very excited. They say 32.5 million U.S. adults suffer from osteoarthritis, especially in their hands, hips, and knees, according to the CDC.
Love it. Some really cool things happening in the medical world. Kenny, what else do you have?
Scary situation for a Utah couple. They lost their cat. The cat was found fine, but 600 miles away from home.
I always wonder.
That's a traveling cat right there.
How does that happen? Like, how does a cat get that far?
So
chasing catnip.
This,
who knows?
This cat is known to be a hider. It likes to hide, and like a lot of cats that I've witnessed, they have a fascination with cardboard boxes. So this cat found its way inside a cardboard box that was scheduled to be shipped as an Amazon return. The owners wanted to return a pair of shoes they purchased on Amazon.
Get out of here.
Wound up in the box. They didn't notice the cat.
How does that go unnoticed? You don't notice the difference in weight?
I was going to say the same thing. I'm like, bro, the box was heavy, but it couldn't have been that heavy.
Wow.
For you not to notice something was in there.
Yeah, the couple didn't know what happened. They wound up putting, quote, tons of flyers around their community until they got a call from a veterinarian in California, 650 miles away. They scanned the cat's microchip, which of course gave the owners information.
Wow.
Turns out this cat had spent 6 days before being discovered by an Amazon employee named Brandy. Brandy went above and beyond the call of duty and took care of the cat, including taking her to the veterinarian. The cat's owner said, "We are so thankful for Brandy and everything that she did for our kitty." Other than some slight dehydration, the cat was unharmed during its trip.
Yeah, poor baby.
Well, I guess some air could get into the box then.
They said the box was slitted enough for air to get through, so
Wow.
the cat had no problem breathing. And of course, the cat's owners are taking this opportunity to stress the importance of getting your pets microchipped.
Yeah, this is a cartoon come to life. Like, you'd see that in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. You'd be like, oh, you could never mail a cat. And then, look at that.
It's a 21st century version of the movie Homeward Bound. Remember that one?
Yeah, it was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it was a
These
great
animals,
movie.
they get lost. They're talking to one another.
They found their way back.
Oh, so glad that the kitty cat's okay.
Yes.
Kenny, what else do you have?
Last week, the Department of Transportation announced new regulations for airlines that are now required to provide automatic refunds for delayed or canceled flights or anything that would constitute a significant change to a flight that would entitle a customer a refund.
Hey, that's good news, right? I mean, how often do you hear these stories where you go to the gate, oh, sorry, we overbooked.
Yeah.
Or, oh, you know, and there's got to be some protection there.
Yeah, and I think in those cases, TJ, maybe they would give you a travel voucher or some kind of credit, but now they're saying, no, you're going to get refunded for the full price that you pay to whatever payment method you made to buy the tickets in the first place. Now, here is who qualifies.
I bet your airlines love that.
Well, they're going to have 6 to 12 months to adapt to these new regulations, according to this report. But you'll qualify for a refund if your flight is straight up canceled, or if a domestic flight is delayed by at least 3 hours, an international flight delayed by at least 6 hours, a domestic flight scheduled to depart at least 3 hours earlier than the original departure time, or an international flight that is scheduled to depart at least 6 hours earlier than the original departure time.
Here's a question. You may not know the answer, but let's say your flight is delayed by 3 hours. Do you still get to take the flight and get a refund?
No, I think you have to be willing to either accept the refund or the flight. And the only instance where you'll get a travel voucher is if the customer explicitly agrees to that. But it goes more than just canceled or delayed flights. A change in departure or arrival airport, an increase in the number of connections, a downgrade to a lower class of service than what you ordered also would entitle you to a refund of your ticket.
Nice. You know, they used to do, it was sort of a different version of this, but there used to be pizza delivery places that if they didn't get the pizza to you when they said they would, they would give it to you for free.
Yeah, 30 minutes or less are free.
Yeah, but the problem with that was there started to be all these accidents, and delivery drivers were speeding to the house, and so they had to stop that. And I don't even know if that exists anymore.
Well, I know with Domino's, I don't know if they still do this, but when I ordered them like last year, when I would order carryout, you have to let them know when you get to the Domino's, you do like a curbside carryout. If they don't bring it out within 2 minutes of you getting there, then the pizza's free.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting.
Yep.
Oh, so that's a little safer. Run to the curb.
Right, exactly. Hopefully you don't trip and fall with the pizza in hand.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's also refund stipulations involving checked bags and issues with that. There's also features that you paid for that you don't get, like advanced seat selection or seat upgrades. These would all qualify people for a refund.
Kenny, thanks for... Well, you got another story there. What else do you have?
A gold watch worn by the wealthiest person aboard the Titanic when it sank recently sold at auction in England over the weekend for £1.175 million. That's $1.485 million.
Did this person survive?
No, he passed when the Titanic sank.
He wasn't wearing the watch, right?
It was found on his person when his body was discovered.
I'm going to pass on that watch.
Yeah, if someone in your family was into bidding on something like that, would you pull them aside and just say, what are you doing?
Mm-mm.
Well,
yeah.
The watch sold for 10 times the value that it was expected to sell for. It belonged to John Jacob Astor IV, who was played by Eric Braeden in the movie Titanic back in 1997. The watch initially went to his son when it was found. His son gave it as a gift to a friend of the family. That family kept the watch in their possession until the 1990s when they sold it at auction.
Wow.
And then it's been in museums ever since. And then, of course, recently sold this time around to an American collector, an unnamed American collector who spent all that money on that watch.
Does he keep it in the museum?
I think it's up to the person who bought it to do whatever they want to do with it. Now, they may put it on loan to a museum, which is something common.
Well, I guess in that case, you can argue it's an investment.
True, yes.
But
I don't know if I would wear it.
But what about the original family? Like where the watch belonged to this guy who unfortunately passed?
Well, the man's son gave that watch away.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, he gave it away.
Somehow I lost that. I thought it was the son of the guy in the movie.
And how much did this watch go for?
Gotcha.
No.
All right, I got
How much did this watch go for again?
It was $1.485 million.
Okay,
Wow.
so they did the right thing, right? And they gave it to the guy. I understand.
Yeah, I think they did the right thing when they found it initially, and now it's 100
Now
years
it's out
later.
there. Okay.
And it was up for auction
All right.
again. Other
enough.
items that they found from the Titanic that were sold at this auction, the bag, which held the violin that was famously played as the boat was going down, that sold for $451,000. And also this pocketbook, which had, I guess it was a notebook that had an itinerary of the Titanic's scheduled voyages that, of course, never happened.
Why do I feel sad about this? Like it shouldn't bother me, but I just feel sad about it.
Yeah, I feel sad about it too.
It is sad people died, but
Yeah.
it is history.
Kenny, what else do you have?
A 101-year-old woman keeps on getting mistaken for a baby because of an error with American Airlines booking system.
Oh, I was going to say, how do you not know the difference?
She's 101. She's lived some life. She's no baby.
I was going to say, that's got to annoy her very badly.
Unless there's a free ticket that comes out of that. 'Cause
Right,
babies fly free.
But yeah, that's not the case for her, unfortunately, J-Bo. It's really only caused headaches for this woman who was born in 1922. Apparently, the airline system can't comprehend that it was 1922, not 2022.
She's older than the airline system. That's amazing to me. She was been around before planes were even invented.
But at the
right?
same time, you've seen what computer...
No?
But at the same time, J-Bo, you've got computers where you could type in a prompt and it spits out an image of what you typed. And they can't figure out how to figure out a date?
Yeah, and she wants them to fix it because, for instance, she needs a wheelchair to get off the plane, and the airline thinks it's a baby that could be carried, so they don't get the wheelchair. She finds herself waiting on the plane. She's the last one to leave.
Don't you bring me a stroller again.
That's right.
Planes were invented in 1903. That's my bad.
Oh.
Still, she's still older than like the system they use.
There's a lot of old stuff going on here, J-Bo.
I'm fascinated.
Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.
I really hope that you have someone in your workplace who's like our producer, Heather, because she's just so sweet and we benefit from her sweetness.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
But it's also interesting, J-Bo, with Heather, she's like very sarcastic too.
She is. Heather has this, she's kind of like a Skittle. Tough on the outside, soft on the inside.
Is that what your assessment is?
You have to get through the wall first. Yeah.
Me? Sarcastic? Stop.
Uh-huh.
No, not me.
But Heather, it seems like if you go away for a weekend or you drive somewhere with your husband, you always bring back treats for us, and you've done it once again. And it's like, what did we do to deserve this, J-Bo? She went to some bakery that she loves.
I'm not asking any questions. I'm just grateful she brings back sweets.
Yeah, and I'm starving, so it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
So tell us why you brought this back, and you have prepared something alongside your generosity.
Correct. So I'm always thinking of you guys wherever I am, just because I'm hanging out with you guys. Most of my time. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Most of my days are with you guys, and I don't want to get all emotional, but I love you guys. I think you guys
Start
are great.
crying.
So
Can you start crying?
The waterworks.
She's holding a box of pastries, and the only thing that would make it better is if she was sobbing.
No, but so I went to the bakery, and one of my favorite bakeries, and I got you all a little pastry, but they all are specific to you.
Oh.
And what I think of you.
So not only did she could have just said, "Oh, get a half a dozen pastries," but she individually picked out which pastry she wanted to give each one of us, and I'm curious to know why you picked each individual pastry. So why don't you start with Kenny?
Okay, so for Kenny, I got him a Spider-Man cupcake because he really enjoys life, and also he's a child. So, and he loves Marvel, so I knew he'd love a nice Spider-Man cupcake, right?
All right.
I love it.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, go ahead. J-Bo's sitting over there.
And for J-Bo, okay. So I know J-Bo loves Oreos, so this is a nice piece of Oreo cake.
Yes.
But it's not just that. It was the last piece.
Oh, this thing is massive.
And everybody loves J-Bo, so I thought that piece of that specific cake, everybody loved it because it was the last piece. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's so sweet, Heather.
J-Bo's very popular, and so is that cake.
Yeah, I like that.
Oreo.
J-Bo, and that's true. Everyone does. Who doesn't love J-Bo?
Yeah,
I haven't met one.
Oreos.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, have you ever met someone who doesn't like J-Bo?
Not one person.
Yeah, isn't
no.
that interesting?
It's weird, yeah.
I'm sure I can find you somebody.
Well, we're gonna find that. Maybe that'll be a segment on tomorrow's show. We found the person.
And then for Josh,
Camera guy Josh. Yep.
I know he's no nonsense and he doesn't love to waste stuff. So this one comes in a chocolate cup that you can eat. So the packaging you can also eat.
But the thing is,
you can't wait. You don't waste that. You just eat the packaging that it's in, and I know you don't like to waste your time.
That is
or
impressive.
things.
Josh is on such an intense workout regimen. Are you even allowed to eat that, Josh?
No way am I allowed to eat this, but
give it to Kenny.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can just try it. Maybe try a little bit of it and see what happens.
I'm gonna try it.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna try it.
I like that Josh can't eat this stuff, but you're putting him in the uncomfortable position of having to accept something from him. That's great.
Also, happy birthday.
And
It
then-
was your birthday over the weekend.
Heather, what else do you have in there?
And then for TJ,
Okay.
I have a little tartlet, because I know you love fruit and you like to keep it at least semi-healthy,
Yeah,
right?
I do.
And then you always want to just try something, so just a little bit, so it's a tiny tart.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a tiny little fruit tart.
She got me a tiny tart.
Oh, tiny tart.
I love
So I
that.
thought that
Thank
would fit you.
Heather, did you get one for yourself?
I did. I
What
got
is it?
myself a black and white cookie because I'm equal opportunity. I love chocolate and vanilla.
Okay.
And I love a little bit of both. So I got a black and white cookie, which is a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of vanilla.
Well, my hope for you, as you're listening to this, is that if you don't have someone in your office, like Heather, find someone. Because, wow, do we reap the rewards of someone who's so thoughtful and caring. We love you, Heather.
Thank you.
We do.